So in case of emergency, you should always carry like a very few basic things which can help you or someone else if you get exhausted or if you incur a fall or something happen. For helping someone else after a fall, you need more stuff. So I would categorize it to two categories. The absolute bare minimum is 3 locking carabiners. One is for the one which you have for resting as well, it's already one, and 2 more locking ones. I personally like the petzl because with the screw gate, because it has the red mark when it's open, so it's visible when it's open and locked. And 2 Pro-6. These ones are Sven Pro-6. That means that they are certified for 21 kilonewtons. It's basically for the Pro-6 loop and progressing with the Pro-6 loop, which I will show later. You need 2 pieces of it for the fact that if you need to pass like 1 attachment point, and at least 1 Sven 120 centimeter slig or runner. So this can be used for many things, to solve many situations or to help in many cases. So these 2 Pro-6 loops, 120 and 3 locking carabiners are the bare minimum. If you are going more people, I generally always take, and I suggest to take a few more locking carabiners and 2 more slicks, one 60 centimeter and one more 120. So basically in total to have 220 centimeter slicks, one 60 centimeter slicks and 2 Pro-6 loops, at least 5 carabiners, better 6 carabiners like locking one. And also it's very good to take a climbing rope. Doesn't need to be long, 30 meters, it's ideal. You can lower someone after he incurred the fall, or you can lower yourself if you get into some bad situations. Generally the ropes goes to the bag and the rest of the equipment goes to the harness. It's also important to pack everything nicely and neatly so it's easily accessible. So what you do is you take the harness, pass it and pass it again, so in the end you have like around 30 centimeters. Spin it, catch it with your fingers and then clip it to the carabiners and clip it to your harness. It's also a good idea to carry a knife. It might happen that something gets stuck or you might need to cut something, so that's also another good to have item. Also, one method to put runners or to store runners can be that you put it over your shoulders. It can be this way with a 60 centimeter, and if it's like 120, you just double it and you put it over the shoulders. So we have a scenario here that Andre is pretending to be now injured or exhausted. Maybe he took a fall or maybe he's just exhausted. So we are not very high up, but decently high. So in such case, when the person is injured and you cannot use the Pro-6, or he cannot Pro-6 himself up and down, what you could do is to lower him with a Munter hitch. That's why we carry a rope with us. Of course, if it's possible, it's better if he could Pro-6 himself back. That's the safest way. But to lower him, it's best when you need to really get him down fast, that he's injured. He might have his hand broken or something like that. So I'm going to make like an anchor point. I will use my shorter loop and the HMS carabiner to use the Munter hitch to lower him. I generally like to make a few passes to make it a bit shorter. It's better to do it with the slig so it doesn't move around. You could attach technically carabiner straight to the cable, but it will be slipping. Now we are in the horizontal wall, so we need to fixate it. If it would be in the vertical, we would fixate to some attachment point, the same thing. So this I will use for lowering. Now I need to take out my rope. I'm of course secured that I could technically be sitting. So this would be the position where I need to do everything. I need to take out my backpack, generally attaching it to the wall. You always want to keep a certain order here. Important matter, not to drop the rope. Ideally you start to unpack it from the back. So, and we will tie a figure 8 knot. And attach him either here to the carabiner or up to this one if he's hanging on the line yards. Now I need to push both strings to get through it, the rope through the both points, and tie a figure 8 or tie him to the rope as close as it's possible. He's attached to the figure 8 now. And now I will use either manter hitch or double manter hitch for lowering him. If it's a heavier load, or if the rope is thinner like this 8mm one, it's maybe better the double manter hitch. So what I need to make sure now that the rope is long enough to get him down. So I uncoil it, and ideally you shouldn't have any tangles. Goes down. So now there are technically two scenarios. Andrei might be a bit unconscious, and in such case you won't be able to unclip him, pretending this is these carabiners. So what you would do is to take another loop and you would pass this thing or two, clip him maybe to the harness or somewhere with another carabiner, which of course not too many left. And you would step on the loop to basically increase his load. So now you can untie him. But it's extremely important to hold the belay rope. But Andrei luckily is conscious and can help push himself. We should always test the system first. So Andrei, you could unclip yourself, go a bit up. I will tie this one and like slowly lower yourself. You see that he still is secured with these two, but I already have him on rappel position. So I see that he's secured. I now unclip him and just clip this anywhere where it doesn't move and start to lower him. Like slowly, steadily, so he gets comfortably down. Andrei, are you good down? Perfect, so he is good. I can unclip, and if he's safe, not to throw the rope on him. Now this is decently advanced maneuver or emergency setup or scenario. Now this is decently difficult emergency scenario, so you should always practice before, like when everybody's healthy, so you get all the setup correctly, because any mistake might lead to much worse accident if he would fall or something like that. So he's safely down. I pack quickly what I have here and get down as well to help him. So we show again closely how you make the anchor point. You need a 60 centimeter slig, horizontal, and a HMS carabiner, which is a pear shape carabiner. Take the slig. I try to make it at least 4 rounds or 5 to make it as close as possible to the cable. So this is our anchor point, which we will use to lower the victim. So we make the manta ridge. This is a very important knot because you can use to lower yourself or a person just with the HMS carabiner. So you usually make it on the easiest way, which I like. So here is the person attached, and we just drop one side, clip it. Basically it will be spinning depending which side you go. Before you lower someone or use it, then lock the carabiner, and here is a weight, the person, and you can just lower him down. I will show the attachment point in a vertical cable. So let's say that here is a person from the other side hanging, and you need to make an attachment point in a vertical cable. So I would always use this where it's attached to the wall to make the anchor. So in such case I would unclip it here to make it lower and make space. And I take again my 60 centimeter slig. And the best way is to tie it around, just careful with the sharper stuff. And again, like 4 times or more. And this would be the attachment point where you put the rope, so it's not touching the wall, and there is enough space to maneuver. And you clip the manta hitch and lower a person.